Michael, my name is Amira Fahana, Diploma in Multimedia, and I will be presenting about my part in our story called The Last Glimpse. So for the first part I did was this exposition part where you can see the squirrel is jumping around the branches. So the animation technique that I use for this part is classic twin, and you can see here I arrange every movement for each keyframe so that the movement are different, and it is I was able to connect all of them with classic twin and make a smoother movement. So for the principle of animation that I use for this part is squash and stretch, where you can see the squirrel's body stretches when it's jumping in the air, and also while eating, you can see the squirrel's tail and body kind of like increases its size and also decreases and also stretches so that you can see the movement, the action clearly. So for the next part is rising action. For this part, I also use classic tween, and I also use movie clip for to make the background move, such as this water river. You can see that it is flowing um like back and forth, and also this part I also use movie clip here. You can see um where you can see the water is moving here. You can see the water moving. And next, for the principal animation that I use is anticipation, where you can see before they react, they did a small movement or a pause before reacting to the sound. And then you can see here also the squirrel shut its eyes first before reacting, which is a small movement that it did. And then the next principle of animation is this is exaggeration. For the squirrel, you can see that when it's shocked, the eyes um the eyes gets bigger and also the tail got stretched to show the reaction more visible. And then for the next part, I use frame to frame. So I was able to control the fishing cat's leg one by one. And then I use classic twin for this animation technique. And the principle of animation that I use is exaggeration, where you can see here when the fishing cat finally gets caught in the trap, the the body movement of the fishing cat trembles, and the you can see the fur gets goosebumps, which is exaggeration. That is exaggeration. Um, and then same goes to this one. You can see when the squirrel was shocked, the eyes gets bigger. There you can see there. And then I also use follow through for this slingshot part, where you can see the after the slingshot got pulled, the slingshot keeps moving even after the hunter stops using it, so that it creates like gravity like alive, and it makes the movement more real and natural. And then lastly, I use anticipation also. Um, Over here you can see before the squirrel gets up to the branch, um, it it stretches its body a bit before getting up to prepare for the next movement. And yeah, that is all for my part.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hana Nabila binti Muhammad Firdaus Lim, ID 012024091233. In this scene, classic and motion tuning were used to animate the fishing cat movement and the sudden jerk backward to express fear. The movie clip were applied for the trembling and hissing effect as secondary actions. For the scene 2, The mouth movement spelling stop was animated using the same twinning method to maintain consistency. A child voice sound effect was added to strengthen the staging and ensure the audience focus on the message. For this scene, it shows that the child running using classic twinning only. The movement focuses on timing to convey urgency and quick decision making. The child blocks the hunter view of the fishing cat while breathing heavily. In this clip, there I use a movie clip for the breathing motion as the looping secondary action, enhancing realism and emotional tension. The child carefully extends his hand to pry open the man-trap stuck on the cat's leg. Slow in and slow out were applied to show gentleness and caution. A camera zooms technique in Adobe Animate was also used to enhance staging and draw focus to the interaction. This scene shows a squirrel jumping onto the branch and running away from the hunter. Classic twinning was used to apply arcs and timing to create a natural and dynamic movement. The fishing cat was through the forest with a bandage on his leg. Classic tuning was used to animate the limping walk cycle, emphasizing timing and appeal to the shore recovery. For this scene, the squirrel jumps onto the rock while nearby bushes move, followed by appearance of the fishing cat. The bush movement acts as a secondary action, improving staging and visual flow. A leaf falls from a tree using classic twinning. Arcs and timing were applied to create a calm and natural falling motion. And for this scene, a no poaching sign is shown on a tree while two people walk in the background. Classic twinning and motion twinning was used for the background characters as secondary action, while staging ensure the sign remains the main focus. The final call to action scene focuses on clear staging and appeal. Simple motion and clean composition were used to deliver the message effectively and conclude the animation.
Stop!
For my reflection, I think this is a great start as someone who's a student and also a beginner when it comes to animating. And I was able to improve my skills in by using basic tools for animating such as Adobe Animate, which is a basic software to use. And I'm also able to learn a lot of things to make my static images become alive by adding images, audios, and also making movements to my character. And I'm really glad I'm able to learn this, and I hope that I will able to apply all of the skills in the future. But there's also some challenging parts, which is I ran out of time when doing this, and I will try my best to manage my time in the future. But overall, I think this is a great way to improve my technical skills. So that is all from me. Thank you.
This animation project helped develop my skills as animator and taught me how different principles and techniques within the animation create emotion as well as how they support storytelling. I learned that through using realistic motions combined with accurate timing, animators will be able to develop a great deal of realism for their audience emotional engagement or involvement in the character story. Using Adobe Animate helped me develop my technical skill set but also develop my efficiency with animation production. While I experienced many difficulties during the project regarding how to create the most realistic or organic feeling movement, I feel much more confident and better prepared for upcoming visual narrative created within the animation industry. Thank you very much.